Here's today's recipe. You're welcome to stop the video and take a picture if you'd like. Hi everyone. Welcome to Cooking with Marian. I am going to be trying to get both the Spanish rice and the enchiladas done at approximately the same time. Because I'm going to be using brown rice takes longer to cook, and so I'm going to start with the rice. Now you're going to have to look over your recipe and see, well, can I get are the enchiladas going to take me longer than the brown rice? I mean, the Spanish rice. If you're using white rice, it's going to take it'll take shorter time to boil up. The other thing that I'm going to do to try to help myself be able to get done all at the same time is I've got all of my stuff ready. So I have my different pans. One is already on the stove, and it's my large pan with a lid, and that one a skillet kind of a thing, and that one's going to be for my Spanish rice. I'll show you in a minute, but right now I have my baking dish for my enchiladas. I have my cookie sheet because that is what I'm going to do. That's where I'm going to put my corn tortillas once I get them done. And you'll see what I mean by done. I've got tongs because I'm going to need that. I've got this pan for my enchilada sauce. I've got this pan to heat up the oil and dip the corn tortillas in to make them soft. Then I dip them in the enchilada sauce, and then I'm going to put them in the cookie sheet like you saw. So I'll put these over here as well. Okay. I've got my cutting board because I'm going to need to slice some onions. And I've got my corn tortillas because I'm going to need those, obviously, for the enchiladas. I happen to have green chili enchilada sauce. I've used red too. We just prefer the green chili to the red, okay, plus a can opener so I can open that up without a problem. I've got my olive oil ready to go. Okay, very good. There's my onion. I need to chop that. Here is my cheese. I need to shred that. Here are my olives to cut and get ready for the top of my enchiladas once those are out of the oven, actually baked. And then it says you can do extras, right? Well, I've got cilantro, and I'm going to spread that over the top of my enchiladas. Sometimes I've used meat inside the enchiladas, but this time I'm not going to. Sometimes I've done shredded chicken and just had fun putting that in. You'll see where you might be able to put that in once I get ready. Now I also have my stuff ready for my Spanish rice. I'll need part of this for my Spanish rice and part of this for my enchilada. So I've got my 1.5 cups of brown rice. And again, you guys can use white rice, and it'll probably cook in that 20 minutes that it says. I'm going to have to go longer with the brown rice. I also have, for my Spanish rice, it says that you can have tomato sauce, right? Well, it also says you can substitute in salsa, and I love substituting, sorry, I had to shake there, substituting salsa instead of tomato sauce. It makes it taste really good. So, of course, there's my cup. Oh, I also have my paper towels ready because, yeah, this is going to be kind of a messy day. I shook the salsa, and already I'm getting stuff all over me. Okay, but I got paper towels. Then for the Spanish rice, I'm going to need my garlic, my parsley, I'm going to need my bouillon. This is chicken flavored bouillon. It talks about having stock in there. The broth, 2.5 cups of chicken broth, but I've also used vegetable broth, so either way is just fine. Okay, and cups, that's my 2 tablespoon one. And of course this for my broth. All right, we are ready to start the Spanish rice. First of all, I'm going to chop the onion, and I'm going to get a container to hold the chopped onion. Okay, if you remember, make sure you are allowed to use a sharp knife. Ask for help from your adult. Okay, so with the onion, I'm chopping off the ends and get some of that off, and then I just go like that, because then I can put my finger in it and take off the layer, and it looks like I've got some bad stuff on my onion, which means I just chop it off. Not that I have to throw away the onion. No, not at all. So, just going to chop off the bad part. Oh dear, got onion skin everywhere. It's a good thing I got paper towels. All right, I'm going to chop this in half because that makes it easier to cut. Now I've got this, and I can just get rid of that bad onion stuff. Gonna have to get rid of a little bit more. There we go. Oh, paper towels. Good. Now remember, okay, there's some bad onion right here, so I'm gonna get that out. Yeah, that should do it. Remember, keep your fingers back as you chop. I've got mine in half. It's nice and flat. So then I cut strips. Okay, I'm cutting lines through here, basically. Now I can cut, see, then they're all, well, once they're separated, they're nice and small. Keep fingers back. Go slow. And you're getting closer to your fingers. Okay. There we go. I'm also going to cut this one. So that means make slice A. Okay, sorry, I thought I saw a spot that I needed to remove. Have you ever watched those videos where they're making something and they show the ingredients, and then like the person will put the onion on the tray and then go like that, and then it flashes to where the onions are already cut? This would be real time for us. Watch your fingers, please, as we get close to the end. And you see my onion just starts to collapse. That's okay. Then I can just let it collapse and do a little touch up. Okay, so I'm going to put my onion in here. Well, I'm trying to put my onion in there and not all over my counter, which is what is happening. What on earth? Okay. So, ready. I am going to also get some of the other stuff ready right now before I move to the stove. I'm going to get some hot water in here for my, oh, I can move this for a minute. I'm supposed to have 2.5 cups of broth. So what I do, I don't need to, when I'm using bouillon or my vegetable bouillon, which I have, I just run my hot water from the tap. And as soon as that gets hot, then I will be able to use that. So I'm going to set that aside while my water at my tap gets hot. It's not hot yet. Okay. But I do need some other stuff ready to go, such as my, oh, I'm going to need 2 tablespoons So is it driving you crazy hearing the water running and running? My husband goes, "You're running water." Well, yeah, I'm getting it hot. Ah, there it is. Yes, nice and hot. So I'm going to put 2.5 cups of water in my 4-cup big old jar. So okay. So now I have hot water. Let me check and make sure. I'm going to add a little bit more because I didn't have quite enough. All right, that should do it. Let me make sure. Yes, that'll work. All righty. Now, I need, that's 2.5. So I need 2.5 cups. So I need 2.5 teaspoons. 3 teaspoons is actually 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to go just slightly less with my tablespoon. We're doing math here, people. 3 teaspoons to a tablespoon. And I just want quite totally full spoon. So there is that. And a bit of a spoon. Here, a bit of a spoon. How do you get a bit of a spoon? I don't want a broken spoon. I'm getting one of my smaller spoons. I should have gotten my bigger spoon, but that's okay. I got a bit of a spoon here. Very good. Okay, so that goes to the side. I'll stir it again right before I add it to the... Okay, now for my 1 cup of, it says plain tomato sauce. I'm using salsa. I love the flavor that this makes with the salsa. Does that look like chunky salsa or what? How about, yeah. Okay. Good. I got that taken care of. And now I got to put it down so it's not in my way. Okay. It's the salsa. I hate to tell you what I did. All right, I'll tell you what I did. First of all, I did wash my hands before I started this. Second of all, when the salsa dripped my thumb, I licked my thumb. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Don't do that. Unless you have permission from your family to lick your fingers while you cook. Okay, there we go. Notice I also have my rag handy because I knew it'd be messy right here too. Now, what else do I need? Oil, onion, rice, garlic. Garlic. I got my garlic. Garlic, how much? 3 cloves, so that's approximately 3 teaspoons. How many teaspoons to a tablespoon? 3 teaspoons to a tablespoon. It wants me to have 3 cloves. With the powdered garlic, that's about a teaspoon each. So I'm going to just throw this in. It's measured now. I got chunky garlic. All right, There's that. That can go out of my way now. And the chicken broth is right here. The tomato sauce is here. And I have parsley, but I'm afraid I don't have 4 heaping tablespoons of it. So I will just use what I have. And I will put parsley on my list of things to buy for next time. Okay, so this is ready. Now it's time for double duty. I have my pan over here with the oil in it, along with the ingredients in the order that they come. So, also to let you know, I went ahead and chopped up another small onion because me and my husband like onions, and I want enough in my enchiladas for my enchiladas as well. I have the onion that I'm going to use for the Spanish rice over there. And then this onion, if I use all of it in my enchiladas, probably not, but I have it ready just in case. So here's the double duty thing. I've got to do the ingredients at the same, let me try this again. As I'm cooking the rice stuff and getting it ready, I'm also going to start doing things like opening cans and shredding cheese for the other things that I have to do. So this rice is going to the side. Now I'm going to turn on my stove. Okay. I got that going. I already poured my 2 tablespoons of oil actually in the pan. So that's going to get warm. You see that I have my other pans ready for the other things that I'm going to do. The other oil and the other what am I got? I got oil and I've got the enchilada sauce. I got to get all of that ready. So I'm going to get my oil, and I believe that it says to use a 1/4 cup. I'm afraid I don't measure this. I just try to make sure that there's enough oil at the bottom of the pan to cover the corn tortillas that I'm going to be cooking in there. So that is all gone. Time to open another one. Okay. So I just get that oil at the bottom of my pan. So that is ready to go. Probably came out to be about a 1/4 cup, or maybe slightly less or slightly more. That's because this pan is a little bit bigger than some of my other ones. Okay, I'm going to put it on the stove, but I'm not turning anything on yet. Now that I'm over here, I can see what's going on. The oil looks like it's hot, so I'm pouring in the onion. And I'm going to let that soften. Stir it into the oil a little bit. Spread it around a little bit. Now I'm going to come back here and do my next item while that onion is getting nice and soft. And this time I have my, what's this called? Enchilada sauce. So I'm opening my enchilada sauce. these are just simple things I can do while the onion is doing its thing. But I don't want to get so into something that I can't get back to the onion, because I still need to watch the onion too. So there is my enchilada sauce, can open. I'm going to pour it into my pan. Again, I'm not going to get that on just yet until I've got my rice simmering. Put that down, don't turn it on. Can go in the sink. Now I'm going to stir this around again. You can tell that onion is softened when it's not so white anymore. It's almost translucent. Kind of, you can almost see through it. At least that's how it kind of sort of looks. Okay, got a little bit of time with that. So I am going to shred my cheese. You'll notice that I have a lot of cheese here. Again, my husband and I like, okay, if I don't use all of it, I will save it for later. But usually what I find is I need a big chunk of cheese, and that is what I need to shred. So that is what I am doing. I'm shredding my big chunk of cheese. See that? I just do it on a plate. And then I can use what I want, and then I will put the rest into a container and put it in the fridge after I'm all done, and see how much of this I need. All right, I can hear the onions, and I am sure that it's time to start taking care of the rest of the Spanish rice. So that is now ready. And I will open the black olives later. In the meantime, it's time to head for the stove over here so that you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so my onion got a little too brown while I was moving the camera over here, but that's okay. That's actually called caramelized onion, and the flavor will be absolutely perfect, or fine. I mean, maybe not perfect, but it'll be good. So now what we have to do, we got that in. Now we do the rice. The rice goes in here. All of it. Let me make sure. Yep. Where's my other one? There it is. Now what we're going to do with the rice is let it actually get brown. Okay. With the oil in there, it's going to start browning up the rice. Now, granted, I happen to have brown rice, but you'll see that it actually gets a little browner. Gonna make sure that I stir this now and then. I don't want to just leave it leave it to get super, super hot and super, super brown on the bottom. Okay, just a little bit. I spread it out. That way more of the rice is actually touching the bottom of the pan. And that's a good thing. Just means more rice is getting cooked all at the same time. So I'm going to leave that for a minute or so. While I'm waiting, I can go open up my other things that I need for the enchiladas. For instance, I know I'm going to need my olives. So I can open those and drain them right now while I'm waiting for the rice to get nice and brown. There it goes. So I'm going to drain those, and how I drain it is I will hold the lid over it and then pour out the liquid. I'll hold the lid like that, just covering it. Pour it out in the sink. Now those olives will need to be cut, but I can cut them later. Let me stir up this rice and see how it's doing. Not quite there yet. It's pretty fun to do white rice and watch it actually turn brown as it cooks on top. Cooks around the edges, I should say. It's not cooking on top when it's the bottom part of it that's touching, but you know what I mean. Just as in stirring it around, looking to see what color it turns. Like I said, doing brown rice, it doesn't seem like it's going to get browner, but I'm still going to wait. I'm going to see. Alrighty. Let it get a little browner. And we'll just keep working it to see what happens. Once the rice gets brown, we're going to add in the garlic. And I put my garlic in a little container because I was worried that if I would leave it on my tablespoon, that I'd bump the spoons and everything would go flying, which, you know, is something that I might do on a regular basis. Okay. How's your white rice doing if that's what you're using? I think my brown rice is starting to get a little browner. Of course, we can see the onions that got sauteed a little too long. But again, like I said, brown onions are okay. It's a different flavor. It's caramelized onion at that point. And it's perfectly fine. I had to turn on my light so I could see it a little better. And of course, the light makes the pan shine, which is not helpful for you. But as soon as I make sure that I've got what I want with my rice, then I'm going to turn off the light so it doesn't make all that shiny metal glow. Okay, looking good, looking good. Okay, if your rice is not browned up yet, go ahead and pause the video until it is. It shouldn't take too much longer. And what we're going to do next is put in the garlic. I'm going to sprinkle my garlic all over. The really big chunk that I had, I squished up. I see I still have some other chunks. So now I'm just going to saute that in to the rice now. Going to get a nice flavor out of that. I don't need to do it for long. The recipe says, oh, add it and saute for 1 more minute. I guess I could count to 60, but I'm going to stir it in well. I am using powdered garlic instead of whole cloves. And if you are using whole cloves, that is wonderful too. I just hope you were careful while you were chopping the whole cloves, because that can hurt. Okay, I got quite the onion and garlic smell now. And now that I've done that, I'm going to add the broth and the tomato sauce, but I'm not just going to whoosh pour it right into the pan. No, I'm going to pour it over on the rice so it's not hitting the hot pan. Okay? So, here is my broth. Like I said, I'm going to stir it up 1 more time. And of course, you might have a can of broth or a container of it, or maybe like me, you had to kind of create it. So, I'm going to go over the rice, slowly over the rice, because it will steam. Woo! I hope that doesn't fog up my camera too much. I'm going to turn on my overhead fan. Just be careful, guys. Steam is hot. Now you notice it's not steaming as much. That's why we go slow to begin with. Now I'm going to put in the tomato sauce. Well, for me it's the salsa. If you're putting in tomato sauce, that is great. Again, just carefully. Okay, good. There, all of that steam stopped because now it had the cooler liquid in it. Because of course my broth had cooled off a little bit. Now the other thing is I want to add my parsley. It says 4 heaping tablespoons. I don't have that much. I know that that's not 4 heaping tablespoons, but that's how much I've got, and that's how much I'm going to use. So there I go. Now what's going to happen is that we're going to get a boil. Once it starts boiling, the lid goes on. I turn the heat to low so that it can simmer. Simmer is almost like a low boil. You still want it bubbling a little bit, but not like a regular boil. Simmer is down low, closer to the surface. Okay. You know, one of the things that there's a saying, a watched pot never boils. And what that means is that when you want a pan to boil, pan of water or pan of liquid to boil, it takes forever. And that's how I feel right now. This watched pot is going to take forever. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to clean up a little bit. Not a lot. It's also time. Let me just come around here. To turn these puppies on. So I have my enchilada sauce here. I have my oil here. So the enchilada sauce, I want it to boil soon, so I'm going to start it going. My oil, am I ready? Yes. So I can go ahead and turn that on. I have to be careful with oil, of course. I have to be ready to be using it. Okay? So I've got that going. I've got my oil on. This is getting ready to do its thing. I think I'm seeing a little bit of boiling. Okay. Oh, turn on your oven. 350. Got it. That will be for the enchiladas. I'm seeing some movement in the liquid. I want to stir it up to get that heat all spread out. Okay. I am also getting out my corn tortillas. And getting those ready to go. Guess I can lift the camera a little so you guys can see, maybe. Maybe. Okay. There we go. Now you can see both. Of my tortillas, I just put them on the bag and I put them down. I've got more than 6 just in case that's how far my enchilada sauce will go. And I also have my cookie sheet right next to the pans over here. Come on, let's boil now. Alright, I don't know if you can see that liquid moving. It's now boiling up a little bit. I'm going to let it get to a bigger boil, and then I'm going to turn it down. In the meantime, I've got my corn tortillas. I'm going to put them where I can easily get them. Alrighty. Do I have a boil? Are you guys watching the pot for me? I've got a boil. Can you see that boil? Alright, so it's time for the lid. Turn down heat. Want my stove to be all the way to low. I just want it. Mine goes well, it's got numbers. Halfway is 5 and all the way is high, it says, so basically 10. So I've got mine about, how are we doing? Okay, I have mine about on 2. I don't know what your oven stove looks like, but that's what I have. I will need about 45 minutes because, like I said, brown rice takes longer. All right. I'm going to check it at 35, 40. Okay, I'll check mine at 35 and see how that goes. In the meantime, it's time for over here. So hold on and let me move you a little. Okay, now we're on this side of the stove here. Got the Spanish rice doing its thing right here. Then I've got these things ready to go. I had to put my corn tortillas way over here so I could have room for the camera, and then you see the pan. So here's how it works. Okay, got my tongs, a tortilla, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's about 4. This one got kind of wrinkled because of the sitting out, so it got a little bit dry. So I'm doing it just a little bit longer, but not much longer. See how it's starting to get floppy? Ooh, and break? Yeah. That happens. Okay? Then I dip it in the enchilada sauce. I'm going to move this around so that I don't hit anything. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it right here. So this is where I'm going to put my tortillas once I have them all done. So again, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What happens is it makes it floppy for you to be able to roll up. Okay? And you will notice that I picked up that edge. That edge wasn't in the oil. Now I need to move this spoon out of the way so I can easily dip the tortillas in there. Okay? So there's that one. Next, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now I'm glancing at my Spanish rice, and it seems to me that it is bubbling a little too much in there. So I am going to turn it down just a smidgen more, about to a 1, because I also don't want it to burn up. See, the rice has to absorb the water. Okay, so there's that one. Now what I usually do is kind of sort of overlap them so I have enough room. If I use 2 cans of enchilada sauce, I'm going to need about, anywhere between 12 and 15 enchiladas. Oh, I didn't count to 5, did I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this is gonna make a difference how hot that oil is, so just be watching your oil. You don't want to fry your tortillas and make them stiff. You just want to get them oiled up a little bit to make them nice and loose so that you can roll them once you put something in them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then just a dip and a dip. Dip, 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 dip. Because the extra enchilada sauce we pour over the top. Very nice. Okay, there's that one. If you happen to be in my French class, you know I've told you sometimes that I count when I'm doing something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's when I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In French is when I'm just doing things that I need to count. Now you know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If you're not in my French class, if you are in my French class, you probably already know that one. Oh, and it broke. So be careful when you swing it. There we go. No big deal. I'll use it. I love things that allow me to use them. I'm going to get this out of my way. Now I can turn that one a little further out of my way. Now this is hot, and since I'm going to be putting it in the oven anyway, I'm going to turn that off, okay, because I don't need it burning my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And flip it, flop it. Get some of that enchilada sauce on it. Ah, it's not laying down right. There we go. Good. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'll go to 8. What am I up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, flop in the enchilada sauce. Okay, there we go. And I can't stand it. I'm going to make another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flip it and flop it in the enchilada sauce. Okay, there we go. 9, 10. I'm going to go with 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now, I can turn that off. The oven's on. That's good. Whoa. Spanish rice is doing its thing. It still has a few more minutes. And now I've got to take us back over to the other counter for the rest of the getting the enchiladas ready. Now, here we are back at the other counter so that we have our cheese, our onions, the tortillas that we just did our flipping around with. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll them. I do a little bit of cheese, then I sprinkle them. I'm trying to get all the onions separated here. If you don't like onion, don't worry about it. You don't have to put that on. If you want to use meat in there, you can do that. It's not a lot. Oh, there we go. It's not an absolute lot of it here because you want to be able to roll it. Now, then I'm going to put it into here. Oh, wait. I'm going to put a little bit of the enchilada sauce at the bottom, just to start with. Okay, good. Now I need a pot holder, which I cannot reach. Now I can reach it. Okay, good. Because that's going to go in on the top. I'm going to just kind of go around and around the pan, get it all over the place. Now, I'm going to roll this. Can you see that? Rolling, rolling, rolling. And some falls out. That's the way it goes, guys. It's good. It's good. It says seam side down. Seam side is this. You want that to go down in the pan like that. So there it is. All right, now cheese, onion, whatever else you wanted in there in the first place. Meat if you're going with that. And roll. Oh no, it's caught right there. And seam side down. Got it. Is the onion falling out? Yeah. Do I care? No, because I can put it on top. All right. Cheese. Onion. Roll it. Seam side down. Oh, I love these. Cheese. Onion. Rolling. Good. All right. You see all of my extra right there? It's okay, because we put cheese on the top. Whoa, I mixed it up a bit and put the onion first. What does this mean? Nothing. It just means it went first. Now, there are times that I am cooking for more than just me and my husband, and I will save some onion. I will make some enchiladas not have onions in them because family or friends may not like onions. So, and if you're cooking for some people who don't like cheese at all, I'm going to turn it this way because I've got this broken piece right there. So I'm going to roll it this way, kind of keep the broken piece together, hopefully, maybe, or it'll break more. One never knows till one tries. Anyway, if there's somebody that you're making these for and they do not like cheese, don't bother making them. Wait till it's just you. Okay, there we go. Cheese. Onion. Roll it. Boy, I'm putting a lot of onion on there. Oh, I don't know if I told you yet. I chopped some more onion. I think I told you, just in case I needed more onion, because I like onion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I can just pick that up. Okay, a little bit of cheese. Okay, we are so almost there. And there we go. Now look, it looks like, oh no, I'm out of space. Boom. No, I am not out of space. Ha! All right, now cheese. Yay, cheese. Onion. Yay, onion. More cheese on the other one. Yay, cheese. More onion on the other one. Hold it. I need more onion on that. Yes. Okay, there we go. And roll it. Good. Now, I can tell I'm going to need that other space. I'm going to squish it a smidgen. There we go. A smidgen means just a little bit. Just in case you are not familiar with that term. Okay. I think I got enough onion on that one as well. I know I got enough cheese. This is going to be a fat boy here. Love it. Come on, come on. Roll with me. There we go. Hands are a mess. So, what do I need? Paper towels handy. And I do have paper towels handy. Okay. So now, because I knew that I would need them. This pan is done. I'm done with that one. Now, here's what we do to finish this up. Pour on the rest of your enchilada sauce. Make your own background noise. I mean, maybe you don't want the maybe you want I don't know. Sometimes I just get silly while cooking. If you were here in person, I'd be embarrassed for myself. But since you're not here in person, I guess I can be silly all I want. Okay. So I always flip a little bit of an onion on top because it's fun. I don't know. This onion, I'm afraid, is going to have to wait for another day when I'm making something else. Okay, now the cheese. And again, we happen to like cheese. So I'm going to make sure that there's enough cheese to go around. Melted cheese. Oh, looks like I'm going to have to use everything I did. And that is okay. All right. There we go. Cheesed. Now this goes in the oven. How long? I don't remember. So I will look it up. I think it's 15 to 30 minutes. I just watched the top of it. And once it looks like it's really melty and kind of boiling around the edges where the enchilada sauce went, that's about when I take it out. Or if it smells super, super, super good, I might think I can't wait another minute. So now I'm going to put it in the oven, 15 to 30 minutes. Then I'm going to show you what else I'm going to do. All right, in the oven. Okay, I'm going to say 15 minutes for that. I don't need the onion anymore. That can go in the fridge in a minute. I don't need the pan anymore, so that can go in the sink where I will fill it with water. What I am going to do is bring this out again because I need to chop up a couple of things, okay? So, boy, that camera is just kind of wibbly wobbly, isn't it? There we go. Whatever, that'll work. So, I've got my olives. I don't need all of them, just to make it look pretty on top. I could chop it, you know, like several thin little chops like that. Or I can just go, I'm doing these in half and I'm done. So I like cooking, but I'm also kind of a lazy cook. If I can get away with something simpler, I mean, as far as chopping, cutting, if there's an easier way, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm watching out for my fingers, people. These little things can slip, and there you are. I guess I can turn off the water that's filling the pan. That's all done. If you're not having olives on top, that is perfectly fine. Then clean up. If you are doing the green onion on top, that is great. You're going to have to cut those. You wash the green onions, and then you just cut them in around. Let me show you. All right, we're going to pretend that these are green onions. And at the bottom of the green onion is a big bulb, or, well, a little bulb. And you just start chopping it like that. Now, this is cilantro. I'm putting cilantro on top of mine. I was actually just going to do the leaves, but I wanted to make sure you knew about cutting onions. And you just go right on up the top. The green onions, not the big old white onions. Okay. So I will end up putting all of that on top of the enchiladas once they come out, which I have 12 more minutes. I set my timer for 15 minutes. I'll check it. If I think it's done, and it usually is, then that's what I'm going to do. Now, this cilantro, I am just going to tear off the leaves. That kind of thing. And then I'll put those over the top of my enchiladas once they come out. See, some things are so dainty that you don't want to cook them while the rest of the stuff is cooking. Because then it takes away the flavor and it kind of makes this kind of stuff all soggy. But it tastes and looks better, napkin, if it's fresh and perky and goes on top. All right. I think one more will do it. I'm not trying to fill the top like I was doing the cheese. Okay. Now I'm going to finish cutting my olives. I may or may not use as many as I put out here. In fact, I know I won't. So I'm going to put some away. And that way I just kind of sprinkle them around, so to speak. Okay? All right. Now we wait. Hopefully you've got your Spanish rice doing its thing. When the timer goes off for your Spanish rice, then what you want to do is fluff it with a fork. Okay? I'm telling you that just in case we get to the end of this video and your Spanish rice has been sitting there, wondering when I'm going to say something. So fluff it with a fork. Just take out the fork and just kind of fluff it up. Alrighty? Okay. I'll put us on pause until my stuff is all done, and hopefully your stuff will be done as well.
Here's a few cheese facts. Cheese is made from milk, and it can be from various types of animals, such as cows, goats, sheep, buffalo, camels, yak, and many more. Moose cheese costs about $420 per pound. Pizza Hut uses about 300 million pounds of cheese yearly. The most popular cheese recipe in the USA is macaroni and cheese, and then there's Queen Victoria, who received a giant wheel of cheddar cheese weighing around 1,000 pounds as a wedding gift. The big old cheese wheel pictured in the bottom right is Henning's Mammoth Cheddar Cheese. That wheel weighs 2,000 pounds. Do you know that a VW Bug, the car, is only about 400 pounds? And that's your cheese facts for today.
Now it's time for the last of the last. I have my rice and my enchiladas all done. My rice got done about 2 minutes before my enchiladas. Now remember, if you're using regular white rice, it'll get done faster, okay? So, here are my enchiladas. But they're not quite done yet because I'm going to top them with stuff. And then here is my Spanish rice. It's not on the hot pad here. Let me see if I can get it. There we go. Without dropping something, that would be cool. On video for everyone to see. Yes, yes. Oh, and I've been cleaning up in between all of that. I managed to get almost all of it done before the timers went off. So here's what I'm doing now. I'm going to top things. First of all, fluff with a fork. I'm actually going to take 2 forks, going to fluff it up. Doesn't that look good? That smells really good. And that is a lot of Spanish rice for just me and my husband. So a lot of it will go into the fridge and we'll eat it over the next few days, over many days, maybe for breakfast and lunch and dinner. Okay, so there it is, nice and fluffy. Okay, now I've got my olives. Gonna just spread those out, make it look pretty, or semi-sloppy, I guess, I don't know. Makes it look like you put in some effort, extra effort. And then my green stuff. Now this, like I said, is cilantro. Hope it tastes good. I wish I'd had green onions, but totally forgot about it. So that's okay. Cilantro will work. There, just a little bit of greenery. Oh, yes, it looks so good, don't you think? Oh, and let me scoot things around. Okay. Because my husband and I like avocados. So we will have one avocado, half an avocado on each plate. We will have probably about 2 enchiladas on each plate with a little bit of Spanish rice on the side. And if I was really going gung-ho, I'd go and have made myself some refried beans, or if I happen to have a can of refried beans, then I would do that. So, sorry, it's time for napkins again. So here it is. We've got the avos. We've got the Spanish rice. Just to the side. There we go. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Now it's time for the enchiladas. Ooh, I don't want to use that spatula because it will hurt my pan that I have here. So, just going to get 2 for each of us. If I can figure out which one is where they are, sometimes you just have to go for it and make messes, I guess. All right. I am going to use a spoon so I can try to get this up without it breaking. There. Pretty on the plate. Yay! I feel so professional. How about you? Okay. Now I'm actually going around some edges of the pan because some of it will stick to the pan. All right, I better get that plate ready. Here we go. All right, come on enchiladas. And there we go. We are ready for our meal. You guys, I hope you're ready for yours, and I hope you enjoy your enchiladas and your Spanish rice. And I will see you next time. Bye now.